So this is my self-assessment as far as what type of manager I would be or management skills I have. One of the questions in the book is, what management skills do I currently have? I work well with others, I think, and I'm not really afraid to say what's on my mind or tell someone to give direction if it's needed. I guess my experience in the military has allowed me to be able to be flexible depending on the situation and change if needed be, roll with the punches. But I'm also, I guess when it comes to being a management, I feel like I could speak to both someone that's above me and someone that's below me on certain levels. If I need to like get my point across, or say if there's someone below me, I have no problem going to someone that's my higher up and explaining their issues that they have. Let's see, what skills needed improve. Even though I do have the skills to be a manager, I guess one skill is to want to be a manager. I have really zero desire to manage anyone. That probably stems from my time in the military, because some of the people that come in there, the last thing you want to do is be in charge of their well-being. Probably better off, but I would say mainly the go-getter part of me doesn't want to be a manager, which I could probably change, probably should change. What management functions are you ideally suited for? I would say probably the go-between between upper management and those below. Feeling like being able to convey the message that either side has in a way that the employees could understand, I would probably do well at. And it really depends. It really depends on the job and how well suited I am for that job, how well I know that job. It's kind of a hard question to ask right out, just without some type of real world knowledge of what I'm doing. Let's see. Which functions are you least suited for? Again, that goes back to, like, for example, like trying to spearhead a merger or something. It seems like a lot of detail I'm not interested in, but if it's something like I'm in a smaller role, like a certain part of a business that I have had experience with, say, for example, I don't know, say I'm a music teacher, I can handle the music part of things, the classes, but you're talking about doing anything more than that, I don't think I'd have much interest in. What managerial roles are you the most and least comfortable with? Most of them. I'm not a manager guy. I know that. But I would say I'm most comfortable with dealing with the personal aspects, of the personal side, the people, versus meetings and big budget meetings and meeting partners, doing things like that, investment meetings, all that. That would just put me to sleep. Do you have leadership capabilities? I think everyone has leadership capabilities. My case is I have them. Do I want to use them in any way? No, that's not true. It just depends. I can't say that's not something I want to do with the rest of my life, is manage people. Never get any sleep. But I think, I have capabilities. It just depends on the scenario. Do you have capabilities to be an entrepreneur? Now, if I remember correctly, this is someone who can start up a business. There had to be passion involved. Like, me and my wife have always played around with the idea of owning a comic book shop. That would be fun. It just depends. If it's something I'm interested in, sure. If I had the money to do it. But just any old business, I'm not Really a jack of all trades kind of guy, but like I said, it depends on the business, really. Comic book shop, video game shop, adult entertainment, maybe. Something like that, yeah, something that's interesting, maybe. But, again, have to have the money. Other than that, probably not. It says diagnostic tools like the MBTI self-assessment appraisal will help you determine your potential as a manager. I don't actually see the MBTI in here, but I don't really need the MBTI to tell me what kind of manager I am. I mean, I had experience in the military, and I was in charge of someone. I was a team chief. That's what we called, The way it broke down was we had a platoon sergeant, and there was 2 roles, and you had two section sergeants. So a platoon sergeant was in charge of everybody. The section sergeant was in charge of their section, and then there were team chiefs. Team chiefs were in charge of one single soldier. So, different points in time in the military, I was in charge of one soldier, here and there, maybe a section but not for too long. And in the PODC, the Primary Leadership Development course, that's where you learn how to be an NCO and then become an official non-commissioned officer. And that's all about leadership. Depending on how they felt about you or what strengths or weakness they saw in you, you were put in certain leadership roles. So I've had extensive experience with being in a leadership role, enough to know it's not really my thing. I always consider myself to be like that old experienced veteran who I like to hang out in the cut and I can disperse, my knowledge and my experience from here and there. But to be in charge of anybody, nah, that ain't my role. I'm off to the side. I do this, I do that. But to be in charge of people, I can do it, but rather not. I've said this many times in this course, or not in this course, but in this program, I'm a behind the scenes kind of guy. So management, that's not really what I'm all about. I think that's about as honest assessment of myself as I can give. I have the tools of being a manager, and if I had to do it short term, I could probably, I couldn't do it. I could do it. No, probably I could. But long term, it's not my style. If I, were to be a manager type, I like to play the role of, I know my job, I expect you to know your job. I'm not going to hover over you. Do what you got to do. If you have any questions, I'll be around. Hit me up. Or, you need me or anything, just keep me in contact. Just let me know your progress. But I'm not going to hover over anybody. That's just how I was brought up in the military, Like, I remember one time, I was a team chief at the time, and my platoon sergeant came to me and he's like, I need this, this, and this done. I'm like, okay. Well, how do I do this? Look, soldier, I don't want to know the details. Just get it done. That's how I was brought up. Just get it done. Let me know when it's done. That's so. But I also learned to trust but verify, meaning trust that your soldiers, trust whoever's under you. In this case, managerial, trust your employees under you, but verify that they did the job correctly. Then, and because not every employee is going to be able to do their job to standard or better without you in some way looking over their shoulder. Some like to slack off, but then there's those that are go-getters and get the job done. You just have to, that's another part of being a manager is find out what your strengths or weaknesses are and then address the situation as you see fit. Okay, that's my self-assessment. Alright, I'm out here.